My name's Lisa, I'm 48, I've got three wonderful boys. I've got Callum who's 14, thinking he's about 40. I've got Zachary who's 11 and Alfie who's 6. Alfie has got Down syndrome, a wonderful little boy, absolute little dream. Everybody falls in love with him. I've been a carer obviously since I've had Alfie. Before I had Alfie, I was a qualified nurse. I absolutely loved my job, loved the people that I worked with, loved the clients that I worked with. I had all intention after I'd had Alfie to go back to work. At 6 weeks old, Alfie started deteriorating and we discovered that he had a heart condition, and we ended up being in Leeds for over a month until he had his first operation. His first operation was unsuccessful. We know we have to have further surgery at some stage when he's a lot bigger. They're wanting to do it possibly about age 9. So he came home on a feeding tube that he had to have every 3 hours, 24/7, which we did for 18 months. But the fact that he came home and he was so poorly and he needed the care that he needed meant that I couldn't return back to work. I had to make a big decision, so I came off the nursing register, which I was absolutely devastated about because I'd absolutely loved it and I'd qualified from being 21, so I'd done it a long time and I loved my job, but I had to make a decision and the priority was my children and not just Alfie. I was on my own with 3 of them, so I had to focus on them and they needed me. 18 months down the road, my 2 older boys lost their dad through suicide, and I'd confirmed that I had made the right decision, giving my career up and concentrating on my kids because they also needed me. The carers' resources were there for my boys, absolutely amazing, supported us fantastically. They were there for me all the way through my journey with them. They've been absolutely amazing. They've given us so much support. They've taken the boys out on trips as they are members of young carers, and that support has been absolutely amazing. They've needed that, and they've made some amazing friends on the way that are other carers, so they don't feel isolated on their own. But Alfie needs constant supervision. We can't leave him on his own. He's a little bit of a monkey. If we were to leave him upstairs, Alfie's a climber, so we have to make sure the windows are all shut so he doesn't climb out of the windows. He loves messing with, as children do, any deodorant, sprays, perfumes, they'll all be gone within 2 minutes. So that's just basic safety. But the boys help him when he needs. We've just toilet trained him. I'm really proud of the fact he's dry day and night. And he will take one of the boys to make sure he goes up to the toilet on his own. And he does the help with everything, with his eating, encouraging him to eat, and they'll sit and help him with his reading. They'll help him when as his feeding pump. We've got all that to connect up, and the boys they can all do that. They can all help with the pump if alarm goes off. But the first year of his life, he was on a special injection, so he didn't get any bugs. So I wasn't allowed to go to nursery. I wasn't allowed to go to groups. I was very restricted on what I was allowed to do, so he didn't pick any bugs up due to this injection that I had. So at times it was very depressing, very isolating. I remember having times at home when I'd be crying. But as time goes by, you then start thinking, is this all I'm going to ever do? And it can be a little bit isolating. You get invited on nights out that you have to turn down because often at the last minute some little person decides he's not very well and you can't leave them. But the other thing as well is people are often scared of the person if it's a young person that you're caring for, because what happens if this happens, what happens if that happens? And they're not frightened of the person, but they're frightened of the condition and the unknown. And for me with Alfie it was, well, what happens if he stops breathing, what happens if this happened? But as time's moved on, he's getting better in himself. He doesn't get as many chest infections, and this last year has been an amazing year for me. I've developed as a person. I think when you have somebody that's ill, you have to be a spokesperson for that person. And I would have said I was quite a confident person, but I've come out of my shell more because I've had to be my spokesperson for my children, and especially for Alfie. Alfie's now in mainstream school at Glusburn Community Primary School. It's absolutely loving it. He's got an amazing one-to-one there that's really brought him forward. He's writing, he's reading, and I'm so proud of him, and I'm so proud of the school as well, because they've been absolutely amazing with him. That's made me look at where do I want to go now. I don't want to stay at home and do nothing. I want to do something for me. I'm going to go back to college. I've done my first mental health first aid course through the help with Carers Resources, and I really enjoyed that. That was amazing. Just waiting to do my paediatric first aid course, and then hopefully in September I'm starting a course to return back into education, to do my teaching assistant role, which I'm starting at the beginning, but my own overall aim is to eventually to work with special educational needs children. And there's other developments. I've met a wonderful person that's embraced me and my children. He's learnt the Makaton, because we all do Makaton with Alfie. Sat and read through the books, and he's been doing the signing with him. He'll sit and read with him, and he understands what he's saying. He's really good. They both communicate really well. Alfie's gone really, really close to Mark. One day in the future, would love to adopt Alpha, which was quite emotional for me, because that's a big thing for somebody to take on my little boy, who, I mean, I think he's special, but for somebody else to think he's that special as well, I think that's lovely. As a person, I have changed so much. I'm not the same person that I was at the beginning when I had Alpha. I was very, very timid, very quiet, not very confident, and I think my children, especially Alfie, has made me develop as a person, and the Carers Resources have been absolutely amazing. They've helped me, and I am the person that I am now. I am more confident. I am ready for my new chapter in my life.